Your luck is about to change for the better. I am so excited to get into the astrology for you today because this June looks really, really beautiful. I will also pull some tarot cards. This is a general reading, so you're welcome to watch this regardless of zodiacal placement. There should be something for everybody here. And June really looks like a huge turning point. After a bit of a struggle, we are really kind of turning into a new chapter, and I don't think that this means that all of our problems are magically going to go away, but it's a very felt tone shift, and I do think it's going to have some profound impacts on all of us. We're going to be feeling this in different ways, which we will get into in just a moment. We do have Jupiter entering into the sign of Cancer on June 9th. And this is especially beautiful because Jupiter for the past year has been in the sign of Gemini. And Jupiter actually doesn't necessarily do super well in Gemini. It's technically in detriment or just kind of in an uncomfortable place. It's in an unfamiliar place is probably a better way of thinking about this. Jupiter and Gemini can make it really easy to take on a lot of information, to try and do it all, and you often get burnt out, or you can just end up feeling scattered and like you're losing focus. But Jupiter entering into Cancer really feels like returning to your heart, getting to the heart of things, and getting back to what really matters. And where this is going to impact you is really going to depend a lot on your rising sign, although it may still be useful to look at your sun and even moon sign. Maybe you'll be resonating with something on an emotional level there, or there's going to be some themes that could also make sense for your life right now. So be kind of open. I think a lot of astrologers tell you to only look at the rising sign, but derivative astrology is a real and valid thing too, and you can use any planet to kind of get into different interpretation. So that's what I say to the naysayers out there. I know there's going to be someone in the comments who wants to come at me, but anyways, I do think the astrology is really looking so nice. Venus, the other benefic planet, so two of the best planets, have not been in really familiar places for them. Venus has been in Aries actually for most of this year, since like February, I believe, or maybe it was March. I don't remember exactly when Venus entered into Aries, but it's been there for a while, and it even went through a retrograde cycle in Aries as well. And again, Venus is not very comfortable or familiar with Aries. It's more at home in its opposite sign in Libra, but it does also rule over the sign of Taurus, which is where it's going to be entering into on June 6th. Today is actually quite interesting because both Venus and Jupiter are sextiling. They're at 60 degrees from one another and creating opportunities for connection. So if you're watching this at the time of the recording, reaching out to people, supporting people, asking for support, this is a really beautiful time to kind of capitalize on the energy that we have been in as we are about to go into a new cycle or pivot point. I really do think that this is going to be a significant chapter because, again, not only are two of these beautiful planets that give us luck and blessings and bounty going into powerful signs, they've previously been actually a bit weak. So the turning point really should be quite felt. And I do think that manifestation is also something that could be especially powerful with Jupiter entering into Cancer and the full moon in Sagittarius on June 11th. That could be signifying some manifestation finally coming into focus or coming into materialization, or it's just kind of a period of optimism, kind of supercharging you. And what's sort of interesting about this is that Jupiter naturally rules over the sign of Sagittarius. So this full moon really does feel quite appropriate being so close to Jupiter entering into the sign it is strongest. So kind of a very Jupiterian energy here, very optimistic, very abundant, giving us lots of new opportunities and perspective and wisdom. And Jupiter is actually going to be here for the next year. It is going to be retrograding back in October, but don't worry, it'll go back into Cancer in March of next year. So it'll just be for a little while. And this is going to really impact people on different levels. I think it's going to impact the following signs the most. Cancer, obviously, but also Capricorn, Aries, and Libra. I'll also talk about the other signs, but I really kind of want to focus on these signs because if you have a rising sign in any of these signs, this is going to be a really important chapter for you. If you're a Cancer rising, you yourself are going through major growth or are just otherwise very lucky. Maybe there is a newfound sense of self or identity. Maybe you're expressing yourself in a different way or getting to know yourself. You are just shining. And this is really, really beautiful, especially since at the start of this year, we had Mars, which is actually weakest in the sign of Cancer, making a very irritable, moody, challenging energy here. And so Cancers are really feeling like they are glowing up. They are experiencing a nice shift, and things could potentially be going a lot easier for you. We do also have Capricorn, who is going to be very blessed by Jupiter in their astrological 7th house. This is the house of relationships, of partnerships, of public image, or public relations is actually probably a more apt word. And so you are likely going to be lucky by connecting to people. Cancer is going to be lucky by being its authentic self. Capricorn is going to be lucky by being in one-on-one relationships, whether that is platonic, romantic, business partnerships. It's about the people you know, if you are a Capricorn rising, okay? And your relationships could really be growing. Or maybe you're even meeting new people, starting new relationships that are giving you lots of opportunity and lots of benefits, lots of blessings. So really, really nice energy here for you. For Aries, this is a time of finding emotional stability and really connecting with family, ancestry, roots, healing your inner child. This is how you are going to be lucky for the next year, especially while Jupiter is in Cancer. And this is going to also potentially be a good time for you to manifest a new home, or your dream home, or really help you connect to roots that are nurturing to you. This is a time to ground yourself. Maybe there is a move for some of you, but honestly, Aries, I kind of want to tell a lot of you that it's a good time for you to plant your roots, to stay where you are, or to go where you feel called and to root there. Okay, so that could be something to manifest or something to kind of set an intention for. All of these themes, again, of home, of family, as well as your emotional well-being, they could all really be improving. Now, we also have Libra risings. You are actually going to be going through major growth in your career, your purpose, your public image. This is a really good time for you to get noticed, to go after promotions, or otherwise just kind of put yourself out into the world at large, whether that's online or in some sort of professional field, or even just figuring out what it is that gives you a sense of purpose, because that's going to be different for everybody. For some people, especially a Libra rising, having a Cancer midheaven, maybe for some of you that is staying at home, being a stay-at-home parent, or something that is about caretaking. Maybe that's the thing that gives you a sense of purpose. Regardless of what it is, though, you are very likely going to be experiencing some growth and ease in this part of your life, which is really, really nice. I think a lot of the cardinal signs, which are Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, there we go. All of you are really going to be going through some growth, especially after some challenging energy, really for the past couple of decades, since we've had Pluto and Capricorn for so long. This is kind of your time to shine. This is a time of really rising above. We do also have Saturn in Aries as well, so that is kind of adding a more serious tone to whatever part of your life is impacted there. But I actually think that is very positive overall too, especially since Jupiter is going to be kind of harmonizing there in a nice way. So going on to the other signs, I do want to look at Taurus. We have Cancer ruling over your astrological 3rd house. This is all about community, specifically your neighborhood or your locale, as well as things like third places. So even including things like parks, cafes, bars, anywhere that people go to gather. I would say that now is a really good time to say yes to events. And it doesn't have to be any of those specific places, but I want you to say yes to more things because that is how you are going to be lucky. Your words are also especially powerful right now. So the words and stories you are telling yourself are going to be especially potent. So be very wise, be very careful and selective with what you're telling yourself, and give yourself lots of affirmations. That is going to very likely bring in some beautiful, beautiful luck for you. Now for Gemini risings, this is going to be about finances, material security. There is going to be maybe some financial growth or new opportunities for you. Now is also a really good time to just take care of kind of like material day-to-day things. So doing your chores, doing things that may not necessarily be the most exciting, it feels like now is actually a good time for you to build stability. And this is going to be kind of an extension of having Jupiter in your sign previously. Maybe you did attract new opportunities, and now you're kind of locking it all in. You're kind of stabilizing all of the new things that have come into your life, and you're making a new foundation for yourself for the future. So skipping Cancer into Leo, this is going to be ruling over your astrological 12th house, your subconscious mind, your psyche. There is very likely going to be expansion and growth for you spiritually. This could really take the form of your intuition increasing, your dreams becoming more vivid, or you just being more creative overall. It's also a really powerful time to become aware of any subconscious programming or patterns that may be sabotaging your life. Now is a really good time to do that shadow work. And really kind of heal on a very deep level. It might feel like Jupiter is a little bit hidden here, but Jupiter actually is very comfortable in the 12th house. And so it's almost like there is this unseen force that is giving you blessings in your life. And that's just going to come by taking care of your emotional well-being. So definitely do the self-care, reconnect with yourself, do your shadow work, go to therapy. This is how you are going to be lucky for most of this year and into 2026. Skipping to Virgo, or going to Virgo now, this is ruling over your 11th house. So Jupiter in your 11th house is really going to help you network, meet new people, connect with people who are on a similar wavelength to you. Also working towards your causes, your ideals is going to give you a lot of luck. Jupiter in the 11th house is honestly one of the best places to have it, because the 11th house is kind of the house of divine synchronicity. The universe will just bring you opportunities and blessings through different people, and this is going to really be coming in quite strongly for you, Virgo. So this is a powerful time for you to network and to connect with people who are on a similar wavelength, and also pay attention to who is coming into your life right now, because they may just be changing your life for the better. And going to Scorpio, we have Cancer in your astrological 9th house. This is about philosophy, your worldview, travel. So maybe you're traveling abroad or studying something. This is a really good time to learn about the world at large or different parts of the world, and really kind of shape or change your perspective, becoming more optimistic overall. This is something that's actually really, really beautiful. And you could have a lot of expansion by connecting to different cultures, or even traveling to different parts of the world, or even connecting to like ancestral homeland. That sort of thing could also bring a lot of growth and new energy for you as well. And also very good for publishing and putting things out into the world. So if you're a writer, now might be a good time to publish that book. So get to work, Scorpio. And then Sagittarius, we have Jupiter in your astrological 8th house. Now this one is kind of interesting because you are going to be blessed by going there, by kind of exposing secrets. You're going to be maybe seeing things that you didn't see before. Maybe there's some shocking news, but ultimately this is going to help you grow and expand. I'm going to be honest, Jupiter in the 8th house is kind of interesting because the 8th house is basically all of the things that we make taboo. It's about sex and death, rebirth, the occult, all of these things that we kind of put into a closet. I actually feel like you are now able to air this stuff out. Now, because it's about debt and death, there could actually be something with windfall as well. So receiving inheritance, especially if that's something that has been kind of a battle for some of you for a while, this could actually be a really good time to receive something like that, or even to invest in something else. Investing in the long term could also be really, really powerful for you. So that might be something for you to consider, okay? And then going to Aquarius, we have Cancer in your astrological 6th house. This is all about your work, your health, your routines. So taking care of your body, having good work ethic, work habits are going to really pay off. A little bit of effort each day into something will go a long way. So really make those healthy routines for you and really focus on your health and your wellness. And you are very likely to attract some success by just putting in a little bit of effort. So Jupiter is actually really lucky for you here. And then going into Pisces, we have Jupiter in your astrological 5th house of creativity, of passion, of fun, and romance. So this is really, really exciting for you. Both, you really could be meeting potentially like a soulmate of some kind, or just having like really beautiful experiences in your love life, maybe reconnecting to the fun parts of a relationship or just dating. But this is also a very creative energy too. So this could be a really powerful time for you to just reconnect to whatever gives you passion. So if you've been feeling dull, now is a good time to really ask yourself, when was the last time I felt excited and passionate about waking up in the morning? What was I looking forward to? Maybe now is the time to reconnect to those things. I'm just going to say. And that's kind of how this is going to affect all of the different zodiac signs. So comment down below how you think Jupiter is going to affect your rising sign. And again, it might be worthwhile checking into your sun or moon sign as well, or honestly, even your Jupiter sign. There might be something there that kind of resonates. So yeah, definitely comment down below. I do want to get into some of these tarot cards now, and before we dive in, I did pull a couple of animal cards. I actually got the golden egg and the wolf. And this is a beautiful combination. This really does feel like, again, with the golden egg representing the heart chakra, I just smiled when I saw this card because this is the perfect card. This is literally about you coming back to your heart, reconnecting to your heart chakra, and just healing something, feeling connected again. And especially with the wolf, there is a call. There is a call to return to the pack. And this is going to look different for each of you, okay? Where you find community might also be related to your rising sign, like what area of life. That might be where you find these connections. And again, we have Pluto in Aquarius. This isn't necessarily going to be an easy sunshine and roses era. I don't think anyone's really expecting that. But I do feel like the people's voices are amplifying right now. So connecting to social activism with the wolf is very, very powerful. Connecting to the causes that matter most to you. And also fighting for things in a way that is very heart-centered. I think there is a very aligned way to do this. And those are all the messages I really got with these cards, but it felt so perfect. It felt so resonant. I do want to start pulling some tarot cards, and this is just a general reading, so maybe even pause this video at this point, take some time to feel out how this energy resonates for you, and really how it might apply to your own life, and leave behind what does not resonate. Again, all of the links are in the description as well for personal readings, energy healing sessions. If you do want something a little more specific, and I am running that sale, now is a great time to book. You can get 15% off using the code Jupiter at checkout. So what are the messages that we have for this collective? Wow, this is a lot of cards. Okay, I'm going to put these back in the deck. But if any of these pop out again, I will let you know. We did see the Star, we saw the Tower, we saw Temperance. So some pretty big energies here. It definitely feels like there's been a reckoning going on, but also like needing to reconnect to the bigger picture, finding hope and faith and renewal after that Tower. That's very much the Tower and the Star. Anyways, what are the messages for this collective? We have the Sun. Beautiful. There are things coming into focus right now. And actually, maybe this is something from the past, because this is the first card that's coming out. And I kind of want to tell you to reconnect to a time where things felt very clear and joyous. What were you doing? What were you connected to? Who were you connected to? there was some clarity here. There was some healing that was going on. And it's interesting that this is showing up in the past for me, because maybe this has since become buried or concealed, or you've lost sight of this clarity. You did have to walk away from something. Maybe there were things that once brought you joy that changed, or there was an ending. Maybe your own heart changed. Because when I look at this particular Eight of Cups, this is a broken place. Something has shattered. Maybe there was a truth, maybe there was a revelation with the Sun that made you realize, I can't live the way I'm living anymore. I need to make a huge change. I need to go someplace else. Maybe some of you were able to make this step, this transition. Maybe some of you are still on it. But there was definitely like an epiphany. And you had to kind of venture into the unknown. Wow. Very, very interesting with the moon here. We went from the sun to the moon. Part of this revelation for you made you see things you overlooked or did not name or identify before. There might have been a lot of fear of the unknown or the unfamiliar. But there's nonetheless the calling with the moon. There's almost something primal, instinctual. And it really does feel appropriate with this Eight of Cups. So right now there is this general message of there was an epiphany, there was an awakening, and you knew you needed to go into a new direction, even if you didn't know where exactly it was leading or how it would end. And I think some of you are still in this journey. And maybe you're even starting to wonder, did I make the right step? Did I do the right thing? I think you have. You're exploring something new for you. You're going to places or becoming a version of yourself that's something you've never really known before. And so you needed to leave behind what was familiar. Yeah. You are surprising yourself. You've been surprising yourself. And it's funny because I was going to tell you, it feels like there has been a huge identity shift. The way you've understood yourself could be shifting. And you've needed to go within. But also looking at these animal cards, it's not about isolating yourself anymore. I feel like a lot of you are going to be meeting people who are going in a similar direction as you. Maybe you are becoming an artist and you're starting to meet other artists. And maybe there's a potential to rent out a studio space together or to collaborate in some way. I'm getting that kind of coming together, that ease. You are finding each other. And it's interesting because you're doing this with this hermit, this lantern. You are like a beacon, actually, by connecting to yourself and following what is authentic and true for you. I don't see this hermit actually as someone who is isolated or removed or withdrawn. I see this hermit as authenticity. You're not afraid to stand out, to be your true self. And it's interesting because it feels actually very Jupiter in Cancer, this kind of Brené Brown quote, or not quote, but she talks a lot about how like fitting in is the opposite of belonging. You can't belong anywhere if you're just trying to fit in. And in order to belong somewhere, you need to be vulnerable. You need to come out of your shell a little bit. And that's sort of the challenge here. especially if you've had to walk away from certain relationships or situations in the past that may have made you more guarded. The luck with Jupiter in Cancer is going to come by you opening your heart more. Three of Pentacles. I knew it. There is a collaboration. You are finding your people and you are working on something together. You are working on something collaborative, or you are otherwise supporting each other in your goals. You are climbing this mountain together, where you were climbing a mountain alone before with the Eight of Cups, where you kind of had to venture off into the unknown, into the wilderness. You are finally meeting new people. They are hearing your call with the wolf and the moon. There is a coming together here. And you might even need to step up and initiate some of this interaction. This feels like new energy to me, honestly. It feels like new people that you are collaborating with. Or it's a new idea, a new project. Anything else for this group? Any other messages at this time? We have Temperance. So this card did come out. We do also have the Tower, kind of beneath that. But I feel like you're healing. You're integrating. There is an alchemy that's been going on, a transmutation that has been going on. You're bringing elements together. You're bringing opposites together. Maybe there is even something quite literally about healing or spiritual work. That could be how you are connecting with people. Temperance is also a card that is associated with the sign of Sagittarius. So again, we have a Sagittarius full moon on June 11th. This could be signifying a major turning point as well. Tell me more about Temperance. The Nine of Pentacles. You're becoming balanced, stable, and abundant, and secure. And you're finding systems that work for you. Okay? This isn't about you following someone else's routine. Following someone else's way of doing things. I mean, if that's the way you do things, great. If that's a way that works for you, great. But this is about you finding what works for you. Temperance and the Nine of Pentacles. And there's many ways to be abundant. There's many ways to find abundance. And that is also a message. Maybe some of you are going through a change in career. I mean, obviously there's signs where that really makes sense for. But your relationship to abundance and security is changing. And I think including other people, relationships in that abundance as well. Because I really feel like this is about having deep roots. Anything else for this group? Anything else for this collective? Any other messages? We have the Page of Swords. You can learn as you go. I was going to say that earlier, actually. You don't need to have all the answers. You don't need to have everything completely planned out down to every little detail. And even if you do, I'm going to tell you now, it's probably going to change with this card. So be flexible in your approach to things. Be curious. Be communicative. And talk things out. I would definitely encourage you to talk things out. I'm also hearing, like, don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid of disrupting the flow or going against the flow. Because there could be something very beautiful and insightful that comes out of that. I'm loving this energy. I feel like what you're building, honestly, is a comfortable place with others. A safe space. I really get that with this Temperance and the Nine of Pentacles. With this nest. and the Three of Pentacles. And I mean, Cancer is fundamentally the sign of home, of family, whatever that means, of roots. And regardless of what area of life Cancer rules over for you, those themes still become important. You know, if you're a Libra rising, career could be somehow connected to family for you, to your roots, connecting people to their emotions, being a family member to the world. I think those are all the messages, but I just want to see if anything else jumps out at me. I'm feeling pretty complete with this, actually. It looks really good. So if you're watching this reading right now, you know, give us that golden yellow heart emoji, give us a wolf emoji, claim this energy, answer that call. So a bunch of cards just came out. Oh my God, beautiful. I'm just looking at this as very symbolic, very much the image of this. The Daughter of Pentacles with the Mother of Pentacles, or Page and Queen of Pentacles. And I love this Queen of Pentacles because it is this fawn with her mother, with the doe. And we have this fawn here as well. So there is like nurturing something. Nurturing the things that matter most to you is going to lead you to a lot of security and abundance. And know that you are secure, that you are protected. That is also something that is coming in right now. And wow, as I said that, I just got chills. So some of your guides, some of your ancestors, whoever it is that you work with on a spiritual plane, they are coming in very strongly right now. And ancestor work is very, very powerful during this time. Again, regardless of your zodiacal placement, it might affect different areas of your life, but whatever sort of intergenerational patterns you adopted from your family, that could also be something to work through and to expand on, because that could potentially be how Jupiter is giving you blessings as well. Those are all the messages I have for you today. I do hope that you liked this. It's been a while, actually, since I've gone really into the astrology, so I hope that was enjoyable. I do also offer chart readings as well, so if you really want to get specific, even looking at the planets and how this is all going to impact you, again, links are in the description of this video. You can book a reading with me. Again, there is that sale, so snag them while you can. And I will see you all next time. I'm sending lots of love and blessings your way. Be sure to hit like and subscribe if you haven't done that already, and that bell notification so you can always stay up to date with what's in the cards for you. Take care.